Why don't you speak to your father? I always thought my parents had the most boring marriage ever. My mom worked at the elementary school down the street, grading papers every night at the kitchen table. My dad, Thomas, was some regional sales rep who traveled constantly. 2 weeks on the road, 1 week home. That was just normal for us. Growing up, I never questioned it. Dad would kiss mom goodbye, throw his suitcase in the trunk, and drive off to whatever city needed him that month. Mom would make dinner for 2 instead of 3. We had our routines. When I turned 21, I was visiting my friend Casey in the next city over, about 2 hours from home. We were hanging out, swiping through dating apps like idiots, when I matched with this guy named Brett. Cute enough, decent conversation. We got to talking about random stuff, and somehow I mentioned my dad being in sales, always traveling between our city and a few others. Brett raised an eyebrow. What's your dad's name again? I told him Thomas. Last name too. Dude, that's so weird. My friend Jake rents his apartment from a guy named Thomas with that exact same last name. Same job description too. Lives in this really nice condo complex on Maple Street. My stomach dropped. We didn't know anyone on Maple Street. Can you text me that address? Brett thought it was funny, like, what are the odds, right? He sent me the address that night. The next week, while mom was at work and dad was supposedly in Chicago for some conference, I drove to that address. My hands were shaking the entire time. I parked across the street from this really nice condo complex. Building 4, Unit 12. There was a mailbox by the front door with a little nameplate that said Thomas R. in clean black letters. Thomas R. That's my dad's name. I sat in my car for like 3 hours, just staring at that building. Part of me wanted to leave, pretend I never saw it, but I couldn't. At 6:45 p.m., a familiar blue Honda pulled into the parking spot right in front of the building. My dad got out carrying 2 bags of groceries from the store we never shopped at. Then the front door opened, and this woman came out. Blonde hair, probably in her 30s, wearing yoga pants and a sweater I'd never seen before. She hugged him, not like a neighbor or a friend, like a wife. But that wasn't even the worst part. 2 little boys, maybe 6 and 8 years old, came running out behind her screaming, "Daddy, Daddy!" and jumped on him like he'd been gone forever. I took pictures. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely hold my phone steady. But I took pictures of everything. The mailbox, the car, him hugging those kids, the woman kissing his cheek. I drove home in complete silence. Didn't even turn on the radio. For a whole week, I didn't say anything. I just watched him. Watched how he kissed mom's forehead when he got home from his business trips. Watched him help her grade papers. Watched him ask about my classes like nothing was wrong. The worst part was how normal everything seemed. He wasn't acting guilty or suspicious. He was just dad. Finally, I printed out one of the photos. Just the mailbox with his name on it. I put it in a plain white envelope with no note, no explanation. Just the picture. I handed it to him at breakfast while mom was getting ready for work upstairs. He opened it, looked at the photo, and his entire face went white. Like, actually white. He dropped his coffee mug, and it shattered all over the kitchen floor. Rhea, I can explain. I didn't let him. I just walked upstairs to my room and locked the door. The next morning, he was gone. Just gone. Left a text on my phone that said, "I'm sorry for everything. I'll explain when I can." He never did explain. Mom fell apart completely. She didn't understand why he left, why he wouldn't answer her calls, why his work said he'd quit without notice. So I had to tell her. I had to show her the pictures, explain about the woman, the kids, the second life he'd been living for who knows how long. We found out later it had been 9 years. 9 years of fake conferences, fake business trips, fake everything. The woman's name was Jennifer. The boys were named Connor and Tyler. They thought dad was a divorced single father who worked in the city and visited them on weekends. Meanwhile, we thought he was a dedicated husband and father who just had a demanding job. He'd been paying rent on 2 places, maintaining 2 families, lying to everyone. Mom had to hire a lawyer to figure out the divorce paperwork because he wouldn't respond to anything. The last message I got from him was 6 months ago. "I know I messed up everything, but I love you. I hope someday you'll let me explain." I deleted it without